Relationship tension between Emmett and Keisha will undoubtedly arise from his new business alliance, while Victor manages the public disclosure of his private life. In the end, Douda expands his stronghold over the South Side as Kevin, Jake, and Papa choose what kind of men they want to be. Kevin's departure from Los Angeles is the key event of Episode 8. Who shot Ya? After graduating from high school, this person is eager to move to the West in order to pursue a career in video games. Kevin looks back on his time in Chicago throughout the show, recalling moments with his buddies Kevin and Papa, his mother and stepmother Dura and Nina, his current girlfriend Meisha, and other people. The entire episode had heartwarming moments, but particularly during a farewell party. The loveliest moment of the story was when he confessed his love to his mother and Lene, who had shared the same house with him for a while. In another scene, Emmett made the decision that it was time to kill Douda and enlisted the help of Rob, who shared his desire to do it. They come up with a plan to finish the job, and although it appeared that everything would go as planned, Rob was wounded by a bullet. Victor had forewarned them against carrying out this strategy precisely because of this result. Victor determines he must complete the task himself after learning that Rob was shot. Despite Fatima's best efforts to dissuade him, he manages to sneak out of their house and appears to have accomplished the objective. We also witness Papa's grieving process after his father died. Through it, he comes to some interesting conclusions that, while made in his father's memory, are entirely at odds with his wishes before he passed away. This entails ending his relationship with Kenya and focusing on becoming a pastor. Additionally, we witness Jake's decision to move into Kevin's apartment and out of his own home. When he informs Gemma that the apartment is for him and not for the two of them to live in, it sparks a fight between them. Jake is offended when Gemma receives a $10,000 payment from Brittany, who appears to be having feelings for her, in order for her to purchase an apartment. We've been building to this moment for the past several episodes as Kevin leaves the city to pursue his gaming profession in Los Angeles. Upon closer examination, this is precisely the course that Chicago's adult population has hoped the city's youngsters would pursue. To varying degrees, the major children in the series have all been dealt unfavorable hands. Keisha and Kevin both have their share of family problems. Jake is raised by his brother Victor, who has a lengthy criminal history, as he does not have his parents. Lene witnessed her brother's imprisonment as well, and since her parents were no longer involved, she moved in with Kevin and Keisha's family. To cut a long tale short, you get the idea. Kevin's achievement, achieved in an unusual way through video games, is evidence that the possibilities are endless for Chicago's young people. This also applies to all young people worldwide. They can accomplish their goals and set their minds to anything, just like anyone else. This hope is what drives Keisha's passion for learning, Emmett's resolve to turn his life around, and Victor's quest for a city council seat. Everything is possible as long as the kids are given the opportunity and room to succeed. Emmett was expected to go above and beyond to save his family and break free from Douda. He needed to finish this mission in order to maintain his connection with Keisha and, to be honest, to stay safe. Thus, when he reaches out to Rob for the ultimate mission of killing Douda, it is with the understanding that they can accomplish it successfully the first time. Despite Victor's warning that they're not up to the task, pointing out that both Rob and Emmett have a history of upholding the law, the two carry out their plan. Rob literally has everything go wrong for him, since he gets shot instead of Emmett, who has to take him to the hospital in the hopes of saving his life. Even worse, despite calling to meet with Douda where the shooting occurred, they were both unable to kill him. Douda is certain that Emmett was at least partially responsible for the shooting. Emmett was meant to place his family in a position of protection, but by shooting Douda and going missing, he made matters worse for them and increased their risk. Victor is now in charge of the situation, which has the potential to worsen and become Emmett's fault. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance are the 5 phases of grief. It's safe to assume that after this episode, Papa has progressed from the angry stage to the bargaining stage. Papa vented a lot of his resentment on Bakary and Kenya in episode 7. He had made amends with Bakary by the end of that episode, but it was still unclear how things stood with Kenya. This week, we received our response when Papa expressed regret to Kenya for snapping at her, but he remained steadfast in his resolve to break up with her. Papa feels that even though his father has made it quite apparent that he doesn't want him to be with Kenya, he would be insulting him if he kept up his relationship with her. Even while others may not understand the reasoning behind his choice, it's obvious that Papa wants to maintain a close relationship with his father and is making every effort to make sure that bond never ends. Later in the episode, he says he wants to become a preacher and give a sermon at his father's burial in order to respect him. While Kevin and Jake attempt to reassure him that he is free to lead a self-determined life, Papa feels that at this particular time, his life should be devoted to ensuring that he fulfills his father's wishes. Victor has taken great satisfaction in his ability to save loved ones in their hour of need ever since he arrived. As he started to assume leadership roles, it expanded from close friends and family to others of his community. But occasionally, Victor finds himself in circumstances that are worse for him than for others. Who Shot Ya is a prime illustration, with Victor intervening to appear to put things right after Rob and Emmett were unable to kill Douda, a task Victor recommended them avoid doing. Victor returns home after seeing Rob and Emmett in the hospital with the clear intention of killing Douda, to make sure that neither Rob nor Emmett, nor anybody else, will have to deal with Douda's revenge. For an instant, it appears that Fatima has succeeded in persuading him to back down. But as the episode comes to a close, Victor appears to have made his way to Douda by sneaking out the back door rather than going to the shower as he had promised. Fatima is relatively new to Victor's life, and she will discover Victor's heroic identity through the events that ultimately transpire that evening. Victor will give it everything he has to be Superman for his people, for better or worse, even if it means suffering a great loss.